The AWS conference is a really wonderful thing. They're always free. Normally it's up in Atlanta, but they are super, super valuable. Like, they are very wonderful talks. Highly recommend it. That's the other thing too. I go to a lot of conferences and I will post all of them. The other one I recommend is Open Source 101. I posted that in Augusta Dev a while ago. It should still be there. I think they still have free tickets. That is a phenomenal conference to go to. I literally, like, in the couple hours of content I watched, I learned so much. And a lot of these conferences will put the talks online too. Like, you can just watch them on YouTube later. But I like going to the live talks because then you can ask questions and interact with the speaker, and that's really nice. Cool. All right. Because like, remember, you guys are members of the clubhouse for 9 months after graduation, and so, like, use it. Use your GitHub student pack. Use the Slack network. Use the fact that we have that newsletter with all of that stuff in it. Like, oh, I also, what's today? Today is September 1st. Let's, I want to go to Slack. Okay. Yep, sorry, Christine, your stuff's all in here. Okay. Payday. Yes, it is payday. I got paid today, and that money bounced right on out of my account. It went, oh, whoop. It was in there for a couple hours, and now it's gone. Respond to this in like a thread and give me your availability for headshots if you want them. So just be like, yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so slow. Why is my mouse here? Hang on, I'm having mouse issues.
Like next week?
In general, anytime. We have a professional photographer as part of our team. So as long as we know far enough out, so then come here and then be like, you know, Monday, Wednesday, 9 to noon. You know, whatever.
That's awesome. Because I was wondering, like, for GitHub, LinkedIn, even like I made a separate, you know, Gmail to use as I apply for jobs. You want that picture to be professional as possible looking. So yeah, that's awesome.
So we can do this, just put some times in, and then I'll get our photographer to come in and do that before y'all graduate, I hope. And if not, we can, you know, just do it after. John's very flexible. He's very nice. Also, if you can't do this, or like you're more comfortable with other people, like my professional headshot, no, this isn't the right account. Like, is the photographer, it will be at the Cyber Center, yes. Is he available on the weekends? If we book him far enough in advance, yes. Oh, look, we're Stewart's doing internships, y'all.
Are they paid internships normally? Do you know?
I think Stewart pays people. Why is my mouse broken? There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I'll open that in a new tab and I'll put that in Slack for y'all. This headshot Macy took for me. So, like, if you have a nice camera, anybody can do your headshot for you. So, like, this is my professional headshot that I use for everything. It's on the roof. But yeah. Oh, and then here I'll give you guys my LinkedIn so you guys can be friends with me on LinkedIn. And then there you go. There's both of those. I'm gonna put that in here too. Yep, that's how it works. Yeah, so that's the nice thing. So, and then like you also know like to dress nice and like, you know, all of that, and like you can do all of that stuff. For me, it's brushing my hair. I don't brush my hair. Y'all know I don't brush my hair. So, you know. But there you go. Both those links are in Slack for y'all. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Okay. Hash tables. Dun, 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 dun. What's this one? They are kind of complicated. So it is okay to like not super understand how they work. Mostly like, does this picture make sense? If you can visualize the idea that hash tables are applying some kind of math in order to save information a different way than just like in a row, that's all like you really need to know. So these are all like social security numbers, and we've applied some kind of function to it to save their data.
So it's like a function to list data or allow data to be represented or formatted in a different way?
So it's a way to store data. So remember, they just do yard work whenever the hell they want, and they make me so mad. It's so the function, yeah, so this function is just anything. Like you decide the hash function, you put in whatever you want here. This is, remember when we talk about this, we're talking about mapping physical memory. And so this is a way to kind of represent that relationship in a much faster way. So instead of us having to like look through and see where we have empty space, we just apply some math to it and that's where it goes. And then if we have a collision, we resolve that collision.
So like instead of what was that one we did yesterday, the where it was like straight, oh Lord, my note kind of, that would take forever, right, to fill something in a gap, because then you have to go through all of it, iterate through everything and kind of fill in a gap. But with this, whatever kind of math you come up with, it will kind of fill in gaps and process much quicker because it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. I don't have to know a hash function because that's something you're going to create just depending on what you.
Because it can be anything. It can be +1.
Okay, got you. Done. Okay, thank you. Yay! Okay, so you made my brain work today. Yay!
Yay, brain working. Yay! Yeah, and like so, the hash functions tend to be like you put your encryption function in there, and again, you just get that encryption function from someone else. You don't write your own encryption function, and the reason we don't write our own encryption function is twofold. It's hard. It's hard to write an encryption function, but also it is much more beneficial to go with an encryption function that's been tested. And so like even so it's not smart, it's just, you know, like something that's been out and open and like other people have tried to break is going to be much more secure than like just you writing something by yourself. And so like that's why you don't write your own. And so that's always why when like people are like secured with a proprietary algorithm, I'm like, okay. Because like
it's gonna crash, and I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Like you don't know.
That's how they feel about your instructing, Morgan. That's how they feel. It's disrespect. like my
Well,
kids.
they normally do it in the morning, which makes sense, you know, because like it's like a fucking a bajillion degrees. Why are you doing that at 1 p.m.?
They don't fall out, man. It's hot today.
Right?
It is
Like,
hot.
like you're gonna, there's just, and like he's got like, I don't even know. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He's got a riding lawnmower. He works like he's enjoying himself.
I went outside for like 5 minutes to smoke a cigarette, and I came back and I was drenched.
Yeah, no, man. I don't know. And like the thing that makes me mad, and I've complained about this a lot, is like, so like I'm maybe like, I don't know, 30 feet from the next apartment, and there's a whole bunch of pine trees. So there ain't that much grass, and it's a bunch of sad ass grass. Like there's not like, you don't need to mow it every week. You just don't. It makes me irrationally cranky. All right. Easy. Give me. We have for quitters, nay, no quitter. I thought it was going to be like that joke. I Googled, hey, do cigarettes expire? And Google said no, but the people who smoking them do. All right. I'm going to try to focus with this going on. It's Tuesday. 33 years too late. Yeah, my mom was a smoker for a long time. She started smoking when she was 16, and she didn't stop smoking till I was like, I don't know, maybe like 13. So she smoked for a long, long time. And now she vapes. So like my like 40-year-old mother has this like vape rig. And I'm like, Mom, please. She thinks she's cool. Basically. Yeah, and that's what I tried to explain to her. I'm like, Mom, like, you don't know what's in that stuff. Like cigarettes are bad for you, but you know what's in them. That's not how it works with the vape juice. Yeah. She tried vaping, it's cool. That's what I'm saying. That's what she does. She's like, in like, oop. Yes, you can make your own, and that's the thing. She buys it, and I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. Yeah. It does have ingredient lists. So the thing is, cigarettes have to get FDA approval. Vape juice does not. Like, vape juice they can just be like, it has flavor. Okay? What does that mean? And like, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of any of it, TBH. I also think, yeah, metals and all that kind of stuff too. Yep. Because, yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of stuff that it's fine. I'm going to blame the lawnmower dude for, like, this level of distraction. Why it doesn't have to be if it's being consumed. Yes. Because it's natural flavors. Yeah. And so, like, because it's food grade. And so there's just a bunch of different rules. And they're new. And it takes a long time for the FDA to approve things. And so, like, they can just kind of do whatever they want. And that's why a lot of like illegal stuff is so dangerous, is because like, okay, maybe mushrooms aren't that bad for you, but when Homeboy has given you, some arsenic mulch chips and told you to eat them, that's bad for you. Don't eat arsenic, y'all. Oh, okay, we're totally just like off the rails. I spilled coconut oil on my bed sheets. Don't do drugs. So I spilled coconut oil on my bed sheets, and so I Googled, how do I get oil out of fabric, and I ended up on the Clorox website to read like how to get the oil out of the fabric. You know what pop-up the Clorox website has to put on their site now? Let's see if they have it again. Let's see.
Don't drink it.
Uh-huh.
Bro.
Can you do like a vinegar and peroxide solution to get?
Yeah, I used Dawn and baking soda. That's what I used because I didn't know how light it was.
I was gonna say Dawn because my kids roll around on my bed after I get them out of the bath and put coconut oil on them. That's just like their thing. But it seems to come out in the wash. But I do like just throw them in Dawn in the bathtub sometimes if it's like a lot of it. It'll come out. It should come out.
Yeah, I did baking soda and Dawn, so it should be. I'm not too stressing about it, but so
Did they put that up?
What?
Oh, I was gonna ask, did they put that up there because Trump said that drinking it will like stop cold?
What?
Why?
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
It's time for something else.
The reason why is really fucked up. So there are some people who think that you can cure autism. So first off, there's nothing wrong with autistic kids.
No, they're all pretty intelligent, actually.
I love autistic kids.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. There's not like you don't have to like cure them. It's not like they got the flu. It's, so first problem. But there's some people, there's a wide contingency of people who think they can cure their children's autism by giving them bleach. And
you lying.
People, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Now, the only time I heard somebody ingest Clorox is when they had a piss test before.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yes,
I was like,
yeah. So please don't give your kids bleach. It's not good for them.
You think?
You think?
Yeah. Everything.
Yes. Miracle cure. Yes. Yes. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it is. So that's why, like, I get real angry about it. Like, I know a lot of people laugh, but like that organization who says that about autistic kids and just like kids in general. So, like you got a hyper kid, you got, a kid with an eating disorder, whatever, obviously bleach your children. That person who is like, it's like called like some crystal something, like I can find it again and show you guys the letter and all that. But like he wrote the president a letter saying that, it'll fix everything, like, bleach will cure AIDS and all that kind of stuff. Like, wackadoo. And so, like, I get that, like, a lot of people think it's funny, but, like, it has a deep-rooted history in, like, child abuse. And so, like, it makes me angry. Like, so, the next time that, like, you hear him say some whack stuff, just remember, like, just because you have the, like, presence of mind to be like, oh, that's not true, doesn't mean that other people have the presence of mind to know that it's not true. Yeah, listen, it's a virus. If you dead, the virus will die.
Well, in Germany, they say just give your kid a shot of whiskey. It'll calm them down.
It'll calm them right on down. You can give your kids some Benadryl.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, in Germany, they handle everything with alcohol. So.
Mm-hmm. Technically correct, yeah. All right, I think the lawn dude's done. Am I done being angry though? The answer is probably not. So my dad gets angry the exact same way I do. Like I get explosively angry, and then like I'm done. I'm cool. I'm calm. Like I'll be really angry for like 30 seconds, and then I'm done. And so like I'll get really angry about stuff, and then like he's like, "Why are you so angry?" And I'm like, "It's your fault." Hot tea with vodka. Yep. Yeah. I mean, your throat won't hurt anymore. That's for sure. Okay, I'm done being angry. Don't drink bleach. Don't give cleaning products to children. Support the post office. Don't eat Tide Pods.
Don't give your kids alcohol.
Don't give your kids alcohol. Yep. Just any other general advice we'd like to give out. Buy some stamps. Support your post office.
Don't forget to vote.
Don't forget to vote. Register to vote.
Yes,
Psych
please.
hell. Brush your teeth. Yeah, brush your teeth. The fluoride, you know, it's fine. The frogs can be gay. It's fine. Who cares?
Wait, I got something I want to talk about before we get serious. It's gonna be
Okay.
real quick. So apparently the US was working on something called the gay bomb. They was gonna drop it on our enemies and make them gay so that they had sex with each other. I was like,
Okay.
I know I looked it up and I was like, what is that?
I will say during the like 50s, 60s, and 70s, like the government does weird stuff. Registered to vote twice and you're still not registered, yeah, definitely reach out to them because they're probably deliberately trying to flush you out of the voter registration. Like, not.
You know, they made me an Asian on my voter registration card. I don't know where they got it from, but they made me Asian.
Yeah. If so, like, if you have not voted in the past couple elections, it's the first time you're voting, or
Oh no, I voted.
yes, yeah, Georgia is getting sued massively for voter registration purging because I think mine was inactive too. Yes, you'll get a voter registration card, but you don't need to take your voter registration card with you when you go to vote. You just need to take your license. So you should have some kind of ID card. It's either a driver's license or an ID card, and you take that with you when you go vote. Yeah, so keep trying because like I did want to get rich, didn't get one yet. Call your office because like Georgia is getting sued because they're not doing what they're supposed to, and especially if you're in Richmond County, like they're gonna what office? The voter registration office. Yeah, because I probably need to call too because even though I voted in the last election and the runoffs, yeah, no reason to purge you. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're in Richmond County, definitely go up there, you know, safe, wear a mask, all that. But like Georgia's getting sued because they keep doing these huge voter purges, especially, you know, Black people, because, you know, yeah. Wait, you're in Columbia County? Yeah. They shouldn't, yeah. Either way, they shouldn't be, but I figure Richmond County will be more guilty of it than Columbia County. Just from living in both Columbia County and Richmond County. Yeah, so keep on them. I'm sorry you're going through it because that's annoying and it's not fair. But yes, they're deliberately kicking people from registration things so they can't vote. So if they think you're going to vote Democratic, they will try to kick you out of the ballot. And they're doing it on purpose, and Georgia has gotten into a lot of trouble for it. So even if you voted in the last one, if there's no reason for you to get purged, all that. They can tell by your name. Yeah, that's the thing is they're just making decisions, you know? Like they're not. And so the idea of purging old voter registration is supposed to be the kinds of things like, you know, oh, this person hasn't voted in 5 years. They're probably, you know, not going to vote, so we don't need to keep their registration active because having an active registration with no one attached to it can be bad. Probably. Yeah, ZZ, they're probably gonna, yeah. So that sucks, yo. It is also happening to other people too, because like they said mine's invalid even though I voted in the last election, like over the summer. Or they said mine's like inactive, so they probably are going to purge mine too. So, you know, because I live in Richmond County and I vote Democratic. So, you know. Yeah. And it's unique. Like, you know, like you definitely did not go to another high school with the same person with the same name as you. But yeah, anyways, that sucks, yo.
Elementary school, same person, same name, spelled the same way.
Weird.
Yep. And then her brother had the same name as my brother. I was like,
That's weird.
It's weird. It was very weird.
And then if y'all were in the same, we're not
Yeah, I heard my little sister.
Mhm.
y'all in the same class and
Cute. But yeah, so that sucks. Anyways, I'm sure things are gonna get better. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, register to vote, brush your teeth, wash your hands, wear a mask. Yeah, I know. All right. Listen, hope is the only thing I got. That's all I got, is that I can hope things are going to get better. We fight for it. We don't just sit here and hope. We fight for it, but you know, we still got to hope things are going to get better. All right. So, yeah, used to staying home. Yeah, it has been especially like hard for me. I'll make one little caveat and then we'll get into serious mode. I used to be like never home. Like I'd leave my house at like 8 a.m. and I wouldn't come back till like 11 o'clock at night. And I'll tell you what, transitioning from like not being home for most of the day to always home, I'm just like, look at all of these things in my house that I've never seen before. All right, cool. It is quiet now. We have discussed many things. So now, let's do some things. I will say though now, like, I think it would be very like stressful for me to switch back to going out all the time. All right, and here's this if you guys want to come draw with me. So what we're going to talk about, we talked about hash tables for a little bit. So what we're going to talk about next is binary search. Oops. Search. So how do I make my text bigger? Text. Big. Zebra. So if we have these numbers and, you know, well, let me select it. I want to select it. Yep. So we have our numbers. Does the chaining, it can. Do be aware when you are filtering with JS in arrays, things will behave a little bit wonky and you need to pay attention to what the result of your filtering is. Just pay attention to it as you go. Because let me tell you, when you try to remap an array and then it's not an array anymore, you're going to be spending some time sitting there going, why? So let's play a game. We want to guess a number. Yes, good at break things. Yes. We want to play a guessing game. This is the number we're going to try to guess. How do we get that number in the least amount of steps? What are some questions we can ask?
Can we check all the numbers at the exact same time?
No.
Oh.
What is it divisible by?
Okay, divisible by is not a bad, that's a good one. That will push us down another path, which we'll talk about later. Oh, what is that called? There's a word for this, but I don't remember what it is. What other things could we do?
Was it greater than and less than?
Exactly. So with a binary search, our biggest goal that we want to do is we want to reduce our search space in half. So for this, what number do I want to ask? Is it less than or greater than?
Is it less than 9 and is it greater than 7?
So do we want to do, so remember, we're trying to make the least amount of decisions possible. And we don't know, we're guessing. So what would we pick?
Is it greater than 5 and less than 10?
Mm-hmm. Well, we already know that's less than 10 because that's our line. So like, there's nothing else here. So we can be like, we can make a decision here. And then we get to get rid of all of these numbers. Excellent. Look at that. We've reduced our search space by half. And then we make another decision and we ask for the middle number and then bam, look, we're there. We found our answer in 2 go-throughs. How many times would it take for a linear search?
It would take 10.
It would take 10. It would take,
I think it would take 8 because it stops at 8.
exactly.
Yeah, 8.
Yep. So we just reduced our search time from 8 rounds to 2. So binary searches are much faster than linear searches. But can we use our binary search if we have something like this? Can we use a binary search with something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. How?
Because it doesn't have to be in order, right?
Well, a binary search does need to be in order because otherwise we can't ask questions like less than or greater than.
Okay.
Because they're not in order, so we don't know.
So you would have to use a function to order them, and then depending on what you were looking for, maybe you could use like prime or maybe like some of the math functions.
Mm-hmm. So binary searches are very fast, but the list has to be sorted before we can use them. So if we already have a pre-sorted list, this is really wonderful. But if we don't, then we have to spend the time to sort it. This idea of what is it divisible by is another flavor of search algorithm that I'm not going to go too much into detail with. I don't remember what it's called. All right, linear, binary, jump search. Is that what I'm looking for? I think it's a jump search. Yes. So like if we wanted to do searching by what it's divisible by, that would be called a jump search. Which this one is really nice. It can be like fast, especially like if your things are already organized. It's very nice. So that's a jump search. I'm not going to go into detail about all those other ones, but that's what this would be. And so this jump search reduces the search space also. That's the idea with the rest of these search algorithms is how do we reduce the search space to make things faster. Yeah, I'm not going to go into any of these other ones. Feel free to go through them. If you understand the linear search and the binary search, you're good to go. Those are our most common ones.
I guess, how often or like when in our professional, or even on our solo projects, are we going to be using like search algorithms and some of the other like data science or
interviews?
Okay.
For the most part, you will be using these for interviews and then like maybe having an understanding of how these work. So like knowing what kind of search algorithm gets implemented when you call, like, but like it's not something you use all the time. But these are very popular interview questions.
It froze when you were saying that. So like, no, your example was knowing which.
So when we use like .find
Mhm.
yes,
Like
that
the method.
has like a search algorithm in the background running.
Okay.
And so like understanding what that works. And so with this, and we'll talk more about this when we get into sorting too, each runtime engine will implement a different search algorithm
Okay.
or a different sorting algorithm.
Mhm.
So for example, V8, which is what Chromium uses, runs Tim sort, and we'll talk about that hopefully today. But yeah, mostly like if you understand how these work and you can use these, you're good to go for most things. But having the foundational knowledge for this can be nice for interviews.
So maybe a good foundation of JavaScript mathy methods is going to be helpful in knowing which search my words today, you guys, my vocabulary is just algorithm that it's related to is going to be helpful for interview.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
And then so just to answer Zizi's question, jump search is just instead of like cutting your thing in half, you're going to make it into little chunks. And we'll look at another kind of close thing to this when we get into our sorting algorithms. But yeah, this is just breaking it up into chunks instead of in half. All right. So any questions about like the concept of a binary search?
No, I just want to make sure I have some examples like the .find was also the .filter, the one that I think Christina had mentioned.
.filter is a little bit different.
That's more like a sorting or?
Kind of. So the way the .filter one is you're handing it a decision to make. So you're kind of writing the search function for it because you're asking it what decision to make. I don't remember filter only pops the top one. No, filter pops all of them. So I guess I'd technically be more like a linear search. But with the changing it, you would be reducing the search space. But like a single filter would be just linear because it has to go through everything.
Okay, so I was just writing some examples. So like a linear search, I know we talked about like a for loop or a while loop, something that's going to iterate through each thing. And then like for a binary search, something like the .find method, the array method though, because I don't know if there's a string method for that or not, but the .find array method would also be. Okay, all right, examples are good.
Yes, we're going to look at some other ones too. Nope. Okay. So this, oh no, okay. I don't need it, but I want it. Yeah. All right, let me open up CodePen and I'll show you guys what this looks like in code, just so you can see it. I don't know what the find uses as its driving data structure math thing. It's probably using something faster than a binary search, but I'm not sure. Cool. Man, I'm struggling. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at what a binary search looks like in code. So we got a function. Lindsay, I'm gonna mute you. You got lots of background noise.
Bro, I thought I was muted. My bad.
Something I was when you map it to a new array, yes. Yeah. That's actually a very interesting problem. Send me a Slack message and I can send you some stuff to help you down that path. Because it is a similar thing that I have done before. So it's all good. I could just hear it, and then like as we saw with the lawnmower, my brain hears that adjacent noise, and it's just like do 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 do. All right. So we got a function. We got a start, which is 0, and we got an end. Great. This notation we haven't talked about a lot. What is this doing? What is this line doing?
Is it starting it at 0 and then it's going to end it at the array? So it's like a loop, but it ends?
So it's not a loop. It's just 2 variable assignments in one line.
It starts at 0 and it ends at the last array.
Mm-hmm.
The array length -1, which means because it starts at 0, because the array starts at 0. So it starts at the last one.
Yeah, so it's like declaring the start and end variables for use.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So we can do this nice little notation. If you have like a bunch of stuff you're going to use all in the same scope, you can just use commas. I don't tend to use this a lot because I think it can be kind of confusing. But yeah, so we have 0 as our start, and the last element in our array is our thing. Excellent. Okay. We want to loop while our start is less than the end. Here's the binary part. We split it in half. It's called the middle. Wonderful. Shocking. We round down. And then we just go through and see if our middle element is our thing. Otherwise, we look left and we look right and make sure choices and subtract it and keep going. Then this return false is for if the element is not in the array. So we got our array here. We're looking for 5. We hand in our array. We hand in this. These extra things are just handing in all this stuff. So we have everybody in there, and then we ask it for 6, and then it'll tell us whether or not we found it. So we take a look here. And so we found 5, but we didn't find 6. And it runs pretty fast because it's a binary search, because it only has to make, again, like 2 hops for this one. And then to not find it, I think it makes like 3 hops. Because once it gets to know that it's bigger than 5 but less than 7, it's seen everything. So it doesn't necessarily have to hit every single piece of the array. Let me give this a name and save it, and I'll share it with y'all. This also, oops, this is also in the that probable happiness repo. You have that. Called binary LT. Put that in front for you. So any questions about this code? I don't think it's too terrible. We've got a loop. We find the middle of our array. We see if our number's that number or not. Otherwise, we hop down the other half of the array. Excellent. All right. So one of the things that we said, though, is binary lists, binary search has to be sorted. So in order to sort an array, we have to do stuff. Like, we have to sort all of our stuff. So remember, we do have a dot sort. Can somebody tell me what the weird thing about dot sort is in JavaScript? Does anybody remember?
Isn't it that it sorts in alphabetical order?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So we can't just use dot sort for our like arrays of numbers. So we have to do something different. So, good to know. So these are a bunch of different implementations of sorting. Okay. So one thing that I want to talk about real quick is which one JavaScript's use, because we've talked about that. And then I want to show you guys some like thought about how we pick an algorithm, and then we'll go through some. So right now, then what do they use? Right now it uses quicksort or merge sort. Great. So if it's a numeric list, it uses quicksort. If it's not numeric, they use merge sort. So exciting. All this really means is that if we're using something that, because everything is open source and has all these different configurations, it's important to understand that unless we are writing our own stuff, we're using someone else's choices. And so, like, you know, we can probably trust Google to write a fast sorting algorithm. That's probably a reasonable assumption. But understand that all of these will have different implementations. You know, so just be aware. But for the most part, like, you know, quick sort, merge sort are what most people use for stuff. Cool. So that is what the V8 Chromium engine uses for sorting stuff in JavaScript. Exciting. And then real fast, I want to talk about like some decisions we make about sorting algorithms to pick which one. So like, how did Google pick which one to use? So first we have just like, here's some things that we can ask about our data. So if it's a small set, we can just use an insertion sort, which is super easy. It's just basically like sort the list. It's like how if you like handed a bunch of cards to a little kid, it's probably how they would sort a list. If everything's already mostly in order, you can do an insertion sort. We'll talk about heap sort, but like this idea of worst case, again, goes back to our big O notation. And so what we're saying is like, what's the absolute worst way to get our data that we have to sort it? Quick sort, again, if we're just kind of on average, we want things to be good, we use quick sort. I'm not going to go in depth about this idea of a dense universe. That's some math nonsense. Don't worry about it. If you want to get super in depth into like, you know, creating your own sorting algorithm, then you can get up in it. But otherwise, just be like, this one is my favorite criteria. Desire to write as little code as possible. And we use an insertion sort. So we can see that even though we have a bunch of options, we typically end up using insertion sort most of the time. But we do have these other tools for other cases, which is nice. This goes in depth about why we pick these things, and then it has some benchmarks, so we can take a look at how long these different things take, which is nice. So we know what V8 implements for their JavaScript sort. We know that JavaScript sort does not sort numerical numbers how we expect them to. And we have some idea about like how we make decisions about which sorting algorithm to implement. I got a bunch of boxes over there because we're getting ready to move. So it's a little bit of a hassle, but yay. Yay. Okay. I've lost my eraser. So I'm going to talk about all of these on the board, and then we'll look at some code for some of these. I do, in that probable happiness, I have code with comments for every single one of these. Because we're a little bit behind, I'm not going to dive deep into the code for all of them. We'll look at insertion sort, and we'll look at insertion, selection, and quick sort. Those are the ones that we'll look at, because those are, I think, the most important ones. I do recommend spending some time. I'll put more YouTube videos up, and like just have these in your brain, especially for interviews. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is bubble. So we'll make just an array of numbers. And we want to search them. Bubble sort is super easy. All it does is go, okay, are these two in order? No. So then it hops one and it takes a look at these, and it says, okay, are these two in order?
No.
Guess swap those. Then it asks, okay, are these two in order?
No.
Oops. And again, are these two in order? No. So now we have gone through our list one time, but our list still isn't sorted all the way yet. So then we have to go through again. I'm going to write this down and then restart at the top so we can still see it.
So it goes all the way until it's in order?
Yes, exactly. So all it does is it checks neighbors.
Oh man, that's tedious.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Then I guess the next it'll check the 10 and the 5.
That would be a good guess, but unfortunately, it's much worse.
Oh, it goes again 5 to 7, and then oh my god, that doesn't make no sense.
Well, so you got to remember, a lot of this is based on the physical memory structure of stuff, and so like a lot of these sorting algorithms are like what works, and so like they might not be the most fast. Because this is actually a very hotly debated part that's still very active in computer science, is like, how do you make a fast sorting algorithm? So, okay, so we've looked, these two are in order, that's fine. These two aren't in order, so we're gonna yeah, okay, this is fine. We can ask. That's fine. Okay, so we got to the end of the array. So we got to start again. We come here, we're like, okay. We got 2, 5, 7, 9, 10. Wonderful. But, so I don't even know how many loops we've already done. Here's the thing with the bubble array. Even if the list is perfectly sorted, it has to go through and make that decision every single time. So we have our perfectly sorted array now, and it has to go through and still compare the neighbors. So it's like, okay, this is right. Okay, this is right. Okay, this is right. Okay, this is right. And so that just takes time. with a bubble sort, it takes a lot of time to even just see if you've actually gone through and done what you're supposed to be doing. So bubble sort compares neighbors and swaps neighbors. It's really simple. It's not hard to write the code. But we can see that like this will take a long time. Like if we have a long array and our like smaller numbers are over on this side, that's going to take a long time to sort. So bubble sort is really simple, easy to write. It is nice if your list is already mostly sorted. It's not bad to implement. But for unsorted lists or like a reversed list, it's going to take a long time.
So what's the advantage? Accuracy?
All of our sorting algorithms will be pretty accurate. We don't have to worry about that. The advantages of bubble sort is it's really easy to write. It's not hard to write. It's really easy to understand and it's really easy to write. And if our list is mostly sorted, it's pretty fast. But yeah, so bubble sort's not like our most wonderful implementation because it is pretty slow. But easy to write. All right. Any other questions about bubble sort? I don't know if we're going to look at some code for it. We'll definitely look at code for insertion sort because insertion sort is important. Cool. Is it used for anything if it's so slow? Yes. So for smaller things or for things that are already kind of in order, you can use bubble sort. But like it's not like in production, you probably aren't using a lot of bubble sort. Yeah. Yeah, do you think that's so interesting? Yeah. No. Cool. Any other questions about this piece? All right. So it's about break time. You're saying hi? Oh, baby. So let's go ahead. Be nice. Let's say 2:35, and then we will do insertion sort and look at some code.
Okay.
So I'll see you guys at 2:35. Hello, I'm back. I also got way too into my leftovers also.
I want some leftovers.
Yep, I had leftover birthday dinner, so it's tofu and broccoli and fried pumpkin.
I'm eating a veggie dog. I'm eating a veggie dog that I don't know how long it's been in the refrigerator.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I figured. Tastes kind of funny though. But I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So what does tofu taste like? Is it soft? Is it crunchy? Is it hard?
Well, it depends on like how you cook it.
Yeah.
Like by itself, it's just soft.
And disgusting. You gotta put some flavor to it.
Yes, you can't just eat plain tofu.
Oh, I was gonna try plain tofu.
No.
It looked like
Don't eat just plain tofu. That's like eating like plain raw potato.
Yeah.
No, I normally freeze it and then just chop it up and stir fry it with stuff.
Yeah.
You can do a bunch of stuff with it. A lot of people like to bread it and fry it.
Marinate it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the stir fry. It sounds good.
Yeah. I recommend freezing it first, though. It makes it all textury. Because otherwise it's like kind of chewy and slimy. But yeah, if you freeze it, then it gets all like open and then it tastes a lot better.
Oh, that's not what I thought tofu would look like.
Yeah, because it's been cooked. So it's not cooked anymore.
White.
Yeah, it comes out of the package white and then you like cook it. Then it doesn't taste bad.
Is there a place that sells tofu, like they cook it and then they sell it? Where's that?
Top China sells really good tofu. I get their sesame tofu a lot. Any of like the Chinese places that will have it. Yeah,
I shop at the
Indian places. Indian places are probably gonna be a real good bet.
In Walmart, they have the pre-seasoned tofu too. Teriyaki and stuff like that.
Whoa, we fancy.
It tastes good.
Yeah, or just get the tempeh and cut it up too. Tempeh bacon.
I don't like tempeh at all. Ugh.
I like tempeh. I like the texture. I like that it has texture.
But it tastes. Ugh.
I don't mind the taste, but I guess I normally put it in other stuff. So like I'll make like buffalo chicken wings with it, and then like you can't really taste the tempeh anymore. It's just buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a tempeh pizza at Mellow Mushroom. I like Mellow Mushroom a lot.
You ever eat a cauliflower pizza?
I don't like cauliflower.
Oh, I love cauliflower.
There's like something about it that I'm like, nah, no thanks. Vegan cheese. I don't know. I should probably not eat cheese because like my digestive system does not enjoy it, but
Now, I must say, in Germany, it was a lot easier to be a vegetarian than when I came into the States.
Yes.
That's why I gave it up. I was like, nah, man, I can't do this. I'm hungry.
especially down here. Like when I lived in California or when I lived in London, not an issue at all. But like here, I'm like,
yeah, it's really hard.
French fries, cool, excellent, love it.
You got to watch out what they fry it in, too. Because sometimes they put the chicken where the French fries are.
Yep.
Now, I work in the food industry, and yes, they do it.
All right. I believe everybody is back. So let's go ahead and keep on.
Can I say a joke first?
Okay, give me your joke.
Okay. So the joke is, what's the difference between wealthy and hood fairy tale?
What?
The wealthy begins once upon a time. The hood begins, y'all mother effers ain't gonna believe this.
So true.
Oh, that's funny. What happened was. Oh,
Oh, man.
I don't even know where I picked up what happened was, but like that is definitely something. Like if I did something stupid, I'll be like, "So what happened was."
Yeah, you that's essential.
I'm like, why the dishes ain't done? See, what had happened was.
What happened was. Alrighty, let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot. Ezra's going to talk about cybersecurity stuff at 3, so let's see how much stuff we can get through before 3. Okay, so insertion sort is basically bubble sort, but like they're not friends with each other. I'm going to pull up a picture of this one so I do not get it wrong because I like to get insertion and selection sorts mixed up. Insertion.
So they're similar?
They're similar, yeah. A lot of these sorting algorithms are similar. And then because insertion and selection are so close in my brain as like the same word,
Okay.
I need a picture. Otherwise I'm going to mess up. Okay, excellent. All right. I think that is actually what, yeah. So that's the one in your syllabus, by the way. So feel free to go through that too. In blue. Okay. So insertion sort works like bubble sort, but instead of us having to go through and make sure everything is correct, we're going to be putting things into a sorted subarray. Okay. Any colors. Can you guys tell the difference between these two colors?
No, I don't even see that.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay.
You have a red or something?
Nope, I got purple and black.
Yep.
Can y'all see the difference between those two?
No.
Yeah, I see that one.
Yeah, but it looks the same though.
It looks the same.
For some reason, I can't even get it pinned up on. I wasn't able to do it yesterday evening either, but I thought it was just yesterday. They won't let me pin you up to see you up close for some reason.
You might need to unpin the presentation first. I don't have pumpkin on my shirt. And then you should be able to pin it.
No, because I had done that too, and it did the same thing yesterday, but it's doing it today too. It's not letting me see you. I can see you in the small slide, but it won't pin you up.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I can stop presenting because we don't need that for right now. So
Okay.
I can do that. And then you should be able to see me now.
Okay, thanks.
So I will, I don't know, I don't have another marker. I've got some Sharpies. I can
Try doing like dot it for one of them.
Yeah.
Or squiggly.
I can make Chase real happy with me and turn my board back in with it covered in Sharpie. All right, so let's make an unsorted array. So I'm putting little dots above these, and the dots are unsorted array. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to make kind of the same choice, just like our bubble stuff. It's going to take these guys and make a comparison, just like we saw before. Except for now, once this
Steven, I'm in class.
we now have this subarray. Let me add our dots again. And so these two are sorted. So now, instead of doing our swaps just kind of arbitrarily, we're going to be putting stuff into here. So then we go through the same thing here. We can swap these guys. But here's kind of where the magic happens. So with a bubble sort, if we wanted to get this 2, we'd have to do a bunch of swaps. But because we have this sorted array and we know what's going on here, we can just put him in the correct spot, which is really nice. So then we can do that and be like, okay, listen, you go here. And then it does stuff to check to see if that's sorted.
Bless you.
Thank you. So it's going to
Bless you.
And then it's going to be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And then we're done. So insertion sort kind of works like a bubble sort, but it's a little bit smarter, so it's a lot faster. You pass, go, and collect 200 people. Exactly, yeah, exactly, 200 people. I don't know why I said 200 people. I think I was reading Tifa's message too. But yeah, so that's the insertion sort, like a lot faster. But it is still not great for very big lists or for lists that are super unsorted, because you have to move everything around and make a whole bunch of decisions. So if it was a really big list, it would be hard to use an insertion sort. We'll look at like merge sorts and all that kind of stuff too. And yeah, how we feel about insertion sort.
Good. That's actually more the simpler thing you taught
That's how
ever.
Sort, I think.
Yeah.
Like if I gave you a bunch of books or a bunch of like index cards to sort, this is how I think most people would sort it.
How is the sorted? Oh, I'm sorry.
Great, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, how is the sorted subarray created? Is it just like within the code, or how do they, I guess, sort it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take a look at the code and see this step, because this, I think, is the step that feels kind of magic. But what it's doing in the code is these are technically 2 separate arrays. That's why I was trying to get them in 2 colors. So it is, this is our original array, and then it makes a new array, and then adds stuff into the new array. I just don't have another color. I don't know where all my markers went. It's very sad. So are you talking about how it decides if it's done as the last part, or how it knows to put 2 over here as the last part? 2. Yeah. So it knows that this is sorted. And so instead of going through and making choices through its partners, it can just put it where it's supposed to be. Because this array has been built by our function, and it knows where to put things in that list. Because it knows what this looks like. It knows what the whole thing looks like. And so it doesn't have to make any guesses. It can just put it where it's supposed to be. Does that make more sense? Yeah, it knows. This array over here that it's made, it understands what it is. Let's take a look at some code. I'm going to start presenting again, and let's take a look at some code. This code I would highly, highly gold star recommend really understanding. Because insertion sorts are pretty popular interview questiones. Dreams come true. I'll do for you. Let me put this in Slack for y'all. Listen, I can't help it. All I do is like hum and sing and do stupid shit. It's very sad. I'm honestly kind of shocked that I don't like drive. So like right now I don't live with anybody, but I'm gonna live with people soon too. And so like, you know, we're all like, yay, it's gonna be so much fun, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, I'm annoying, y'all. I don't know what you think it's gonna be like, but I'm annoying, y'all. All right. Register for an AWS webinar. All right. Let's take a look at some code. Aw, thank you. I'm a terrible roommate. Okay. So we got a function, take some stuff in. We say, okay, go through that list of items. We're going to look at each value at the current location. Semicolon. This is weird though. So we got a nested for loop. So why would we do that? Why would we nest our for loops for this?
Because we have two arrays.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. And this is just copying them into the next one. And then we can go through and store it. And we return it. And this list is not the data type list. This list is this array that we've created. Dun, 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 dun. So we handed it and changed it. So when we call it, we can see we got an unsorted list, and then it goes through and sorts it. Boop, 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 boop. Yay! So I think this one is very easy to code. We just nest some loops and then move some stuff around. This is the part that's a little bit ornery. So notice that like the step here is pretty weird. So what this is saying is, as long as we haven't gone out of our boundary, because our index should never be negative, right? If we have an array, there's no way for our index to be negative, yeah?
Yeah.
And we have where we currently are is bigger than the value, we need to add that. And so it's only doing the right-hand assignment, but that's what's going through and doing. I think if I do this, we will be able to see the steps, but this might not be the right place. It might need to be in the other one. Okay, let's take a look. And then settings, behavior, off, save. Okay. So now we can see it run once, and then we can take a look at it. Okay, so now it's ran once. Whoop, that's a lot of steps. So we got our unsorted list. It's gone through and it's sorted just that pair. See? It's gone through and it sorts. Do I have a duplicate? I don't know what that duplicate is. Oh, this is it's actively swapping. So it's going through and swapping them. We're making choices. We're a little bit more sorted now. We're a little bit more sorted. And each time it's just adding that next thing to the array. So then notice here, the 17 is here. The duplication is because it's pulling something out of the array to hold it to move it into the sorted array, which is weird, but that's what it's doing. And then he's here again. So we're not deleting anybody. We're just pulling them out to hold them. And then we keep going, and then finally we get that 20, and then we check to make sure everything's good, and then we're sorted. Excellent. So it does take a lot of steps. Insertion sorts are nice because they're faster than a bubble sort, and they're pretty easy to write. I mean, like without comments, that's like what? Without comments and console log statements, it's like, I don't know, 10 lines of code maybe. So let me save this and share it with you.
You said the duplicate is pulling it out of the array and comparing it to the next one.
That's why we see the duplicates in there. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I think that's the way I have it set up. I wrote this like a year ago, so I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing though. Okay. All right. Any questions about insertion sorts or bubble sorts? Okay.
So
All right. What?
I was gonna say, so the only ones we did was bubble and insertion and quicksort.
We didn't talk. We talked about quicksort, but we haven't looked into it yet.
Okay.
We'll finish that tomorrow, and then I'm probably just gonna skip freeze this time because, like, honestly, they're not that important, especially in JavaScript. So we'll skip it, and then we'll start week 11. I don't. Let me take a look real fast at. If you eat my leftovers, I'm gonna boot you. She rude.
Well, it's your fault for leaving it out.
Tell you what, man, that's how she feels. She's like, does it stay still for 1 second? It's mine. All right. So I'm not gonna say this is due yet, but go ahead and, like, a lot of you guys are already working on this, so keep working on your weather API homework too. Keep working on it. We have not covered APIs in class yet, so if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, that's cool. If you want to get started on it, that's what we'll be working on tomorrow. So that's what's up. If you guys want to start it and keep on keeping on, because some of you guys are already working on it, do it. All I want, like, I just really just want you guys to be like, I have successfully called an API and made it show up on a web page. That's all I want you to do. It shouldn't be terrible. If it's absolutely horrific, we can work on it. Yeah, and so, like, read the documentation. We'll spend some more time with it. Tomorrow we will spend a lot more time with it, and so it should be less scary after tomorrow. We're just a teensy bit behind. That's okay. All right, so any questions about what we covered today or what I expect from y'all? All right, well then I am going to hand it over to Ezra, and he will be talking about cybersecurity stuff.
Hi, Ezra!
Hey,
Hi.
long
How
time
do I
no
present? Yeah, it's been a while. I'm taking the next boot camp, which starts on the 21st of this month.
awesome.
So I'll be in that one.
Awesome.
Hey. So, let's see. How do I entire screen? So, hi, my name is Ezra. I'm an aspiring web developer and cyber practitioner. And just like you know, I love learning. I'm driven to learn. So I want to talk to you guys about social engineering and also a little bit of web hacking. There's a few things that you guys will learn that you probably already learned. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's see. I'm also very nervous, so forgive me.
You're fine, baby. You're fine. Do your thing.
All right, so I actually made this slide. And hacking, and there's a dog in the background because I thought it was kind of cute, and a little bit of ASCII art. But so what is social engineering? So social engineering is the art of manipulating people. They give up basically private information that other people shouldn't have. So it can be in different forms. There's different types of hacking, and there's phishing, which is emailing someone, and it could be any kind of like an email that looks so legit that you click a link and then it asks for your information, and all of a sudden, you know, they have that data, that information that they shouldn't have. Spear phishing is a little bit similar. Eavesdropping is basically listening for private information. Say like you're at a coffee shop and they're just, you know, they're just talking about stuff they shouldn't be. Tailgating and piggybacking is a little bit similar. I'll go into that a little bit more. Email spoofing is also kind of similar to what I was saying as well with phishing. So say like a power company. Actually, you know, I'm just gonna give you guys like examples. So don't and phones. It's basically like phishing. You can like spoof someone's number. I can also go into a little bit of that as well. And reverse engineering is where you there's a sense of urgency, where say you got something in the mail or an email that says, "Oh, you must call this number," or say someone poisons your cookies, and you have to call the attacker. Someone has feedback. What's going on? Let's see. Hey, I'm gonna mute you just for a sec. But yeah, so forgive me, guys. I am nervous, and I don't know why.
It's okay. You don't have to be nervous. No judge here.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know. All right, so phishing. Actually, I'm just gonna Google some images because why not? Let's see. Phishing. Phishing emails. So let's see. So, dear valued customer, Trusted Bank, we have received notice that received to withdraw. All right, so for instance, PayPal, the logo is, oh no, why did I click that? Another thing while I'm on this, oh God. So you see in the bottom left corner of my screen, hovering over this, it has like a link. So say if you don't feel too confident with the site that you're going to, or if an image is a link, you can hover over it, and on the left bottom of your screen, it'll have a link. And yeah, so this has hypertext transfer protocol secure. But yeah, so I did it again. Yeah, I'm horrible. So this email isn't exactly right. So the logo's wrong. Let's see. You can also look for error and spelling sometimes, grammar.
The logo's fake.
Yeah, the logo's definitely fake. And you can also look at the sender. The sender, it's not showing the sender, but the sender might say like real email or real something.com or something weird. Like this instant, for instance, this MS Team, this Microsoft wouldn't send you an email from some other site. So let's see, oops, sorry. So I guess that's an example. Eavesdropping.
Is that like when the IRS sent out this? Well, supposedly the IRS sent out the email. Oh, you got to verify your account information.
Yes, but the IRS won't send you an email. They'll send you a letter in the mail. They will not call you or email you.
Yeah, I know. I was just giving you an example. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. If anybody has any examples, please speak up because I am, not thinking clearly at the moment. But yes, that's a very good one. Eavesdropping is another form of getting information. Like say there's someone and outside the club or something, and there's like a password or something to get into the secret room or the VIP room, and you have to know the password. You can just listen in and get the password, and boom, you're in. Or someone's talking about their private information. Shoulder surfing is another form of stealing information. So say like someone is at a coffee shop and you're sitting next to them and you're just like looking over their shoulder and they're just logging in and you just see like a few keystrokes of what they put in. That's another way to steal information. is awful. Don't sell people's information. Smishing is awful. I'm pretty sure most of us have received text messages about gift cards and receiving free stuff, or enter your information, your social security number, all that stuff. Fill out this form. So if you click that link, it installs malware on your phone, and it's just not good. It's very, very bad. Don't click stuff you don't know who it's from. Yeah, it's not good. Not a fun time. So piggybacking and tailgating. So piggybacking is basically like, say like I am on the phone, I'm pretending like, I belong here. And someone's coming in that has a badge or something, and they're scanning their badge and they're walking in. And you just, you follow behind them, like, and you act as if you belong there, or you just, or you have a badge. Actually, you have a badge that works. Excuse me. This is the difference. One has a badge, one doesn't. And then the other tailgating is where, someone opens the door, and, you follow behind them, you hold the door open, and you go in. And there's all sorts of cybersecurity stuff that I can talk about too, which brings me to this. There's people that, do pen tests and stuff, and, penetrate buildings. And people go in, they first send like, the social engineer that does reconnaissance, and, this gets information on buildings. And sometimes they have gear in their bags that, can copy information from an ID card. And basically they can clone it, and then, just make the badge look alike, and, gain access to the building. And it's crazy. I'll send you guys a few videos on some stuff like that. Also, web development. You can also do some social engineering as well. You can create a site like web development's open source. The only stuff you don't have is like, the back end stuff. But you can create a fake site and say, oh, I'm this person, and you can be malicious too. Not saying that you should, but you could. So email spoofing, I already showed you guys a few examples of that. Phone vishing, let's call it vishing. So there's this app that you can actually download that gives you free credits, and it's called a spoof card. So say like, if I wanted to call myself, I would enter the number that I was calling, and I would put the number of the person, the caller ID that I want them to see. And it's like, say I'm calling from Microsoft, right? I work at Microsoft and I fix computers or something. I could do that and cause harm to someone, and then, find a way to connect to their computer, which Microsoft wouldn't do that. But and just be evil and, put ransomware in their computer, and yeah. Or I could, or another way is, say like you have someone's information, or you wanted their email, or you want to call their phone company, and you want to add a line of service to their phone. You can, there's a voice changer app on this app as well. You can change your voice, put some background music on, so you have a child or anything, and just create, a sense of, urgency, and that you're impatient, and, have a baby, I really need this done. It's crazy what you can do if you're believable. Reverse engineering is basically you're calling the bad person, and then they create a sense of urgency and try to get you to act upon it, which is quite awful. And I feel like that's it for social engineering. I also have some resources here that I'm going to actually go over, a little bit of live hacking for you guys. I would prefer to you guys use Linux if you want to do some stuff like this, but I'm not going to do that because Kali's buggy on my computer. So I just use Homebrew. for most of the stuff that I do. So I created a new account on HackerOne, and I'm also gonna go over a few cool things too. Does anybody have any questions before I continue? I'm sorry.
I have an example for a phone spoofing.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this example, this happens a lot. Like, I don't know why they keep calling here, but we have people, they say they're from Capital One and they'll call here. And I don't know why they keep doing it, because my mom knows they're not from Capital One. So they'll call here and they'll be like, okay, hey, we're calling about your credit card. You have a bill due. What's your credit card number? And she's like, check the file. You said I'm with your company, check the file. And so they would get mad and stuff, and she would be like, you said I was with your company, check the file. And they'll be like, well, we really need this money. And he's like, well, check the file. And then they get mad and they start cussing her out. And she's like, well, you're the one who needs the money. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Morgan, do you have any questions for me or any input? All right. So.
Go ahead, question. I'll read that last.
Sorry.
So there are. I had gotten a text last week. I had filled out like 4 job applications, and the next day and updated my resume. And the next day I got a text from someone from another state saying they saw my updated resume and they're such and such from this company. I was a little hesitant because I didn't know if it was real. I know there are a lot of fake stuff like that out there, but this one I looked up them online and seemed like they may be real. No,
I would say do some research. I would Google them. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I would just do some research and Google them to make sure it's right. But I don't think they would text you. I feel like they would email you, if anything.
I mean, they should provide you at least with a number if they're serious.
Yeah, it's a phone number. I didn't call like
information.
Yeah, usually I'll research it, and I did, I guess, because of time and everything, and try to get everything else done. Yeah, usually, and I did research it, but not in depth. Then I interviewed them this week. Then it was like a texting back and forth, and it's like data entry. And I know COVID-19 is happening, so the remote, they want me to do something remote. It's like data entry and stuff. So
no, if they're serious, they're gonna send you an email,
and then
not a text. Even if it's remote, they would not send you a text because they tried to get me like that one time too.
Really? Then they sent me an email today. They sent me an email today saying that welcome to the team, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't been able to look at it and reply yet. So.
But in the email, is there contact information? Because you have to have a contact person of contact.
Yeah.
We'll see. If you don't have that, then it's fake.
Okay. I'll double check. I looked at it real briefly, but I didn't take time to.
Yeah, I had to spend a lot of time on that when I was doing management stuff. So
I know some people, like you said, they will send an email and then they'll say, "We're going to send you this check, and you got to go cash, for this job."
No, don't do that. Don't do that. They tried to get me like that one time. They sent me because I wanted to do like the banner on my car.
You want to see a banner on your car?
Yeah, I wanted to put like a banner on my car, like advertisement. And they said, yeah, we're going to send you the stuff. So they sent me the banner and they sent me a check for like $7,000. And they were like, oh, yeah, just go ahead and cash the check and then send us $4,000 back so we can get the car, what you call it?
Oh, no. So your bank would get you.
Yeah, because what they will do is the bank holds the check for 10 days if you don't have that amount of money in your account. And then they will take your $4,000, cash it, and then you're left with the bill.
Yeah, I tried to do that one. This one didn't say anything about a check or anything, so I'm like, okay. And they said they would send me my own laptop and software download, so I felt a little bit better about that instead of downloading stuff on my own laptop. So, that's kind of funny for me, but it might be legit.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust it. If you don't have a POC, I wouldn't trust it.
Okay, I'll look in the check the email again and see if it's got but I'll check.
Yeah.
Check today.
Okay.
First they text me, and then the text interview, and then now it's an email saying what the company had love and everything like that. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I did feel like that was a little funny.
Okay, so let's do this. If they ask you for money, it's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
There should be no money involved with that stuff. Another thing, since Morgan's gone, I'm not going to do anything right now, but be careful about public Wi-Fi. Don't do anything bank related or like anything bank related. And don't just join any wireless network. Like you can use Wireshark and put it in monitor mode, and you can like say, and as long as you have like a remote wireless antenna for Wi-Fi, you can put that in monitor mode and create your own Wi-Fi, and they can use another Wi-Fi and basically give that internet, and then they can key log everything, your username and passwords. There's a lot of stuff. It's pretty crazy. um, what else?
Yeah. I always use my hotspot if I have to use my computer, because if not, I don't go to public places and just log in, because I know I'm gonna check my account or something, or my email or something personal.
And also VPN is pretty nice too.
Yeah.
The only thing though, VPNs aren't exactly private. So when you're using someone else's VPN, they're actually getting your data. But if they're compromised, then so is your data. So like Nord, I'll stop talking now. So back to live hacking. So I just created a HackerOne account not too long ago, and I'm going to give you guys a few examples of live hacking. Oh, actually, before I do that, Hack the Box. So Hack the Box is one of my, this is actually where it all started before computer science. So join now. So you actually have to hack your way into this. So I need some help. So check the console. So check the console. Let's see. So I'm looking for something that's not right. So this JavaScript code looks strange. So let's take a look at it. And does anyone see anything that looks a little bit out of the ordinary?
It's all on one line.
That too. So right here it says a function, console log make invite code, right? And it says type post data. So what it's saying is I need to make a post request. So let's see curl. You guys know about curl, right? Client URL. Actually, before I do that,
About
I
it,
need to do.
but not
Huh?
we heard about it, but not in depth.
So it's a network command, and it's pretty useful. Especially networking is also very important. I can go a little bit over that. It's not my strong suit, but it's definitely good for hacking. You definitely want to do that if you want to. Let's see, make invite code. That's a function. So we're gonna do that. So we got an object here, and then so we have a hash. So or cipher, another word for it. So it's encrypted with base64. So this is fun. This is really fun stuff. I actually learned about cipher when I took an on.
Oh no, never mind. I was thinking maybe base 64 was the password, but I see it's just encryption type, right?
Yeah, it's just encryption. So I go here and I'm gonna do and decode it. So this doesn't always work for decrypting stuff. Like you have to do stuff on your own. So let's see what it says. In order to generate this invite code, make a push request to this. Oops. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of that. Oop.
Did you do your presentation? Are you still doing it?
I'm still doing it. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna drop this here, and let's see. So we have another encoded. So that might be base 64 as well. And then we're gonna and then I have my invite code. So I just and then I sign up.
Oh wow,
So
that's awesome.
that's yeah, it's fun, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of what got me into cybersecurity,
Oh,
getting
no.
into stuff that I'm not supposed to. Yeah, so web development, it's actually good to know a little bit about programming languages and web development stuff, because you actually need that to do certain things. There's different types of hacking, but so and here I'm gonna show you a few other tricks too. Let's see. Authorize. So on HackerOne, you can do bug bounties and actually make money. And it's really nice. They also have a place where you can learn how to hack. They have tons of videos and resources. I'm gonna make sure this slide gets sent to Morgan so she can share that with you guys. But so there's like the encrypted paste bin. So let's check this out. This one's kind of hard. I never finished this one, but just because it's hard doesn't mean you shouldn't try. So I definitely tried to do an alert here on my last time. Let's see. There's more than one way to cross-site script. There is a legacy version of it, which is something I don't really use too often, but the alert tag does just great. Oh, let's see, alert. Let's just say X. Let's see if anything happens. Nothing happens, but if you take a look up here, where it says post, and there's a bunch of this stuff right here, I'm gonna change one thing in it, and I'm gonna hit enter. And I got an error, I got a flag. So I took this flag here, and I submit it. Does anybody have any questions? Sorry, I know I'm just like going through stuff.
No.
Is this what did you learn hacking from Hacker 101?
A little bit, yes. So I have a few friends that also taught me a few things too. But I definitely learned a lot from the videos, and it goes very in depth. Like it starts from like beginner knowledge, but it's also good to have a security and network aspect to give you some balance and know how things work. And like for instance, computer science, like there's certain things that in the C library, for instance, like buffer overflows and stuff like say there's like char and it's only 25 oh thanks it's only like 25 characters can only go on this thing, you do 26 or something, and then it's like boom, that's weird. Like it's just like when you learn how things work and things you're not supposed to do, thinking like a hacker is literally thinking outside the box. You have to be able to be creative, be puzzles. I don't know. It's fun. So I'll actually go to the next one. If you guys have questions, please feel free to stop me. I'm super nervous. I think I'm doing okay.
I recommend watching on YouTube. Hello?
I'm still here.
Okay. Who do you recommend watching on YouTube about, or any videos you recommend?
So the ones that I actually here, I'll go back to clear that. Let's see, HackerOne. Let's go. So on here, when you first sign up and start,
Mm-hmm.
You'll see right off the back to say, learn how to hack. So you click here.
Mm-hmm.
They have free class on web, and not just web, but let's see, get started. So they have stuff from iOS to everything. It's crazy. So video lessons, cryptology, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
Pen testing basics, introductions, like all of this sort of stuff. And it goes in depth. Like, I mean, like you can learn Android hacking, OS hacking. Like, you won't learn like the stuff to where you put on a USB, you plug it in, and you got shell to something else. But you can do that through coding, which is scripting. Scripting is basically automating stuff. And Python and Go are really awesome languages to learn if you want to get into that stuff. So let's see. Can I edit this page? I cannot edit this page. So on this one here, let's see. We got a button that doesn't work. And we also have an unsecure login page. So I'm gonna try to do something basic. Admin, unknown user. So I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm just gonna hit enter and see if it causes an error. So I got an error here, and I can do a code injection, kind of like 1 = 1 or something like that. So I'm actually just gonna do a unit attack because let's go back and see. Oh, I can do, hold on. So I'm just gonna do union select here. I'm gonna send it an ejection. I'm gonna do, I guess, XYZ. XYZ, right? As password and a little number. There we go. And I'm gonna type XYZ here. And boom, I'm in. So I go to home. Let's see, wait, it's private page. So I got a flag. Let's see, that's markdown language. I'll come back to that. There's another thing. So that was 2 flags I found, right? So let's see, I go back to login. So here, don't recommend you guys doing this on your regular computers. If you have an Apple, you can definitely do it. So oops, here, I'm gonna see if I can dump the database because it's not secure. So it means SQL map. SQL map. Oh my. And then let's see here. And password user. And dump to back it up. Should work. So I'm trying to dump their database. Also, brute forcing is a thing too. It takes forever. I'm not gonna lie, it's not fun. Come on. Username is vulnerable, yes. So I got a username and password here. I also have a few flags that I found earlier, which is kind of nice too. So let's see. I'm gonna mess this. Okay, so I found another flag. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna get out of this for a second and go back to. Do you guys have any questions? I'm sorry. I keep apologizing. I don't know why I'm apologizing for.
It's like watching what you're doing is so interesting. Like,
oh,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure you guys know about databases like primary keys and stuff aren't supposed to have like primary keys are not supposed to be null whatsoever or have like dashes or anything in them. I wish I could show you like a example because you can basically do what I just did from what, I just did a SQL injection and I sent their database and I'm not the best at explaining things, so forgive me again. I'm sorry. I keep apologizing. Sorry. Oh, God. Okay. Let's all laugh. Oh, gosh.
That's cool. You know what SQL injection is.
Do I know what SQL injection is?
We know what SQL injection is, so you explained it pretty well. You said you dropped the database.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions so far?
So you just use the code, that code that you put in SQL. Let me see what you put in.
A SQL map. So SQL map.
Yes, that code that you put in. That's something that you pulled up in order to find their maybe store.
So you can look at the manual. Literally, it's all I do. So you do man and you SQL map.
Man,
or wait, hold on. I guess I can't do that with not being on Linux. -H. I feel like it's that. Oh wait, hold on.
Do you do this as a job or just for fun?
I do it for fun and I also do it for bug bounties. I created a new account because I have programs that aren't publicly. Yeah, it's not public, so I have to keep it secret. So that's all I can say. And I do bug bounty testing and do reports and how basically the steps are like you go from how you did it and what you found and like the risk it could be and they pay you for it. So it's really nice.
For the government?
Yeah, I have, but no. I don't like being told what to do. So there is a manual that you go by and you can find stuff. And
Christina said the tool you use to dump the database, is that something that rolls with a Mac or something we can look up?
I think you can get it on Windows. Hold on.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Because it's on a website. It's not secure. Don't trust it. I use Homebrew. But like I said, I don't recommend you doing this on your actual computer. Definitely, if you're going to do this, mess with Kali Linux, or Ubuntu. Highly suggest Ubuntu, and support open source and give back to it. It's amazing. Like it's awesome. But yeah, Ubuntu is a little different. I love Linux. I love Homebrew too. So Homebrew. Actually here. So I basically use this here. So I could do most things that I could do on a Linux computer on my Mac, which is kind of nice. What else? Oh shucks. All right, I'm gonna go over some resources real quick. Wait, can I? So edx.org is one of the places where actually I learned computer science, and actually I took a course on here. CS50. So if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about computer science, which I've seen in the videos that I've been timestamping, that she has been going over a lot of stuff, and that's helpful. Like if you can do computer science, you can do anything. It's literally all about problem solving and size of the problem and like time to fix. Like your log in, in squared, log in. Like you could open a book and just do it. Like in is literally like turning a page, one page at a time, and squared is times equal to, and it's like 2 pages at a time. And then logins, like you're opening a book halfway and you're gonna go left or right, saying like it's a phone book. And I learned all this stuff from this guy named Brian. But awesome, which is it's a little off topic. I also learned to cipher from this guy too. So you learn a little bit about everything. But if you want to get into hacking, there is a good good video in here that I recommend. Actually, if I'm logged in. Let's see. So unlocking information security, these two right here are really good resources. They go over a lot. I'm not finished watching and taking notes, but definitely recommend. And also Khan Academy. Let's see. They have some really good cryptography courses. Let's see. And computer programming, which I highly recommend as well. Let's see. Algorithms, cryptography, and information theory. So yeah, hope I didn't bore you guys too much. My name's Ezra, and I hope you guys enjoyed my little, showcase for you.
I thought it was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You guys can reach out to me on Slack anytime if you have any questions. I'm just learning random stuff all the time. So,
Do you have LinkedIn?
I do. My name's Ezra Hampton. So actually I'll put that in the chat.
Okay.
Ezra Hampton. And I'm also on Twitter. I think it's Ezra the Dev, or I think ZZ, you followed me on Twitter. So
I just followed the people it suggested.
oh, well then, hey. But yeah, Twitter is a really great platform for networking with developers and cybersecurity people. I definitely think
I see you.
huh?
I see you on the thing. I can send it to the chat so that if they want to follow you, they can follow you.
Thanks. They don't have to follow me. I'm known special. But basically,
Can you
definitely
send it?
network, definitely.
Yeah, I put it in Slack.
Yeah, because after the chat is after the video conference is done, everything is gone.
Oh. But yeah, definitely comment on tweets and stuff and retweet. It's very good. You know, just being involved with the community is really good. And you never know who you're going to meet. And you might get a job out of it. Because honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about who you know. And definitely go to Beers and Bites whenever, you know, COVID's over. I'm ready for it to be over. But Beers and Bites, network, talk to people. You never know. Go to events, go to tech events. I'm telling you, you might get hired on the spot one day, and it's insane. So, anybody have any more questions for me? Or
But I think you did great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, thank you, Morgan, for having me. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. All right. So I hope that was a nice little introduction to some more hacky fun things. Hack the Box is fun, Hacker Ring's fun, HackerOne, like you got a bunch of free online resources to play. We'll be going over this week some cybersecurity concepts. I don't know why that was gone from my brain. My brain was like the things, the science, the math. Okay, so I was expecting him to talk to 4, which is nice because then we get a little bit extra time. Y'all want a couple minute break before we roll up, or are you guys ready to keep on keeping on?
I'm cool either way.
All right. Okay, so then let me start presenting my page. Oh, okay, yeah, let's come back at 3:50 then. We'll just wrap up and do just a couple minutes. Yeah, all right, yeah. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
You mean about the hacking that he was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that was scary to see all that and know you just get on there and start researching how to do it.
Yeah, and like
I thought it was exciting. You thought it was what?
Exciting. Yeah.
Exciting.
I want to do that. That's what
I actually want to be an ethical hacker, so that's my main goal.
You want to do ethical hacking? Yeah. I definitely recommend getting someone else to pay for that cert for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I ain't got no money.
Yeah. But like I will say, I know RSI will pay for that. Because one of my friends, he does QA there, and he has his ethical hacking stuff, and RSI paid for it.
RSI?
Yeah.
What is that?
They're a firm around here that does stuff.
Are they like a temp agency?
What?
Aren't they like a temp agency? RSI? Is
no,
that
a temp agency? It's where Wes and Nicole works. They do consulting. So you are hired by RSI, and RSI is your like full-time employer, and like they give you benefits and all that. But you switch through different kinds of like work because they're a consulting firm. So the work's not temp work, but like you will change and do different jobs.
They're on Broad Street, aren't they? Aren't they on Broad Street?
No, they're off of, I mean, I guess that's technically Broad Street.
Oh.
But I think it's a road over. They're in the Enterprise Mill.
Oh, I was trying to picture where they were. Okay.
So like, to work there to get.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Hey, hang on, that was super echoey. What?
So to like work there, so they can like pay for your certification, do you have to know cybersecurity?
He does QA. He does like testing. Like just like regular like QA testing, not even like, you know, automation or anything. Yeah, basically they rent you out, and that's a pretty common style, especially down here in the South. We get a lot of places like this. There's also Intuitive Reason in. What are you doing?
Oh, y'all hear that? My bad. That's my sister. I share a room, okay? That's my sister.
Yeah, starting out as something that gives you a lot of experience like that is really nice. There's Intuitive Reason in Jacksonville too. If you know, want to move to Jacksonville. I have no idea what the Weir Stewart internship is. Honestly, I think it's, I don't know, honestly. I can definitely shoot Wes an email and see what's up. Yeah, apply at RSI for sure. They're right now technically in a hiring freeze, but I know that they're starting to come out of their hiring freeze. So apply, yeah. So there will be positions soon, and like I talked to Beth a lot, so. And I know that people are leaving RSI also, so I know there's going to be more positions open. Especially at RSI, I do also recommend QA positions. They're pretty easy to get.
Off task, y'all, but I got my graduation gift to myself. Y'all want to see? I'm excited.
Yes, I want to see.
Sure.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
The one that came with my computer is so thin and flat, and it didn't have any like kickstands, and I already have carpal tunnel, because y'all know I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, ooh, like double reason, like I need it for my carpal tunnel, and it's pretty. So like, the mouse doesn't work though. I don't know like what it.
Either. I ordered a mouse and keyboard off of Amazon. It didn't work either.
Not trying to be funny. It's whatever country. I don't know if China, which you know everything's made there, but whatever configuration, because there's no drivers. I think that it just.
Mine was just smashed. They just sent me a broken mouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, mine just doesn't work. It just like the pointer won't move. I'm like, okay. Yeah, nice. But yeah, so I'm using my.
So, but I
love the noise of mechanical ones. Like, I was hoping this was a little more clacky, but it'll be all right.
Yeah. I don't have a mechanical keyboard. Mine's fake. I bought mine because it's white, which I kind of regret now because it's like slowly turning tan with all the coffee still on my laptop. I'm messy.
What does mechanical mean? It's not clacky. It's not the noise. I love the noise.
So I dated a guy who was way too into mechanical keyboards. It has to do with how the key action works. And so like a non-mechanical keyboard is like a laptop key and they don't have any switches in them. And then a mechanical keyboard has like, I don't have a mechanical keyboard because I don't like them because they make noise. But they have like a mechanical movement in the keys.
That must be what I like then, because I love it.
Yeah, the clicky
I
clanky.
love the noise.
Yes.
I'm annoying.
So a lot of people really like them. Yep. A lot of people really like them. I'm not a fan. And like, I guess my fingers are just not as sensitive enough to like feel the difference. And so I'm just like, this is loud. I hate it. Yeah. Yeah. Like definitely I can tell the difference between a keyboard and a laptop, but like my brother has a really like intense mechanical keyboard and I hate typing on it. And his also changes light color when you type on it. I can't do this. I can't be out here with like all of these things like changing colors while I'm typing. Can't be doing it. All right. So to answer Zizi's question, is a full stack engineer and full stack developer the same thing? maybe. So what I mean by maybe is it depends on the job company and it depends on who is doing the listing. So typically engineers and developers, the job roles depend on what else is in the job listing. Engineers tend to be doing the like architecting solutions and documentation. Developers tend to just be like, make the thing. Engineers tend to get paid more than your average developer because they're making those architecting solutions. You gotta charge your stuff. It's all good. It happens. Yes, just like somebody, like a developer is going to be the kind of person who, like, you get told, hey, build this, and the developers do that. Engineers tend to be the, hey, we have this problem, fix this problem. So you have to present solutions and why. And to fix the breaks. Yeah. Yep. So engineers tend to be the people who are also developing the solution, and developers, bye. Can we be either coming out of this class? You're probably going to be more in the developer category than the engineer category, but that is not to say that you can't do the engineering. Especially like if you have pretty strong problem solving skills, you can do the engineering, but you're probably going to be more in the development role. They sometimes differentiate using the terms interchangeably. Yes. So that's the other thing is some of them, it totally just depends on, like, you know, it's a hiring manager who wrote it and they didn't know. Like the hiring manager might not know the difference between an engineer and a developer. And it's the same thing, like if you tell people you're a DevOps engineer, like it can literally be like 20 different jobs because it's such a big open thing. But that's typically what the difference is engineers do the documentation and problem solving and developers just make stuff.
That's a nice way to streamline it. It was very interesting because I was looking at BB&T, just with my friend has worked over 16 years, just looking at their job listings. And she was like, well, what's, you know, position are you looking for? And I was like, well, really, I'm looking for more like a junior developer or like an entry level developer position. And she was like, well, what about software engineer? I thought you were in a software engineering program. I'm like, okay, here we go with the explanation. So to explain it to a layman person, right? But they have both. So it was very interesting to see how they differentiated between the roles in that company. But then something like, for instance, T-Mobile, it really read like a dev job, but it called it an entry-level software engineer. So it's just very interesting to see how they'll use those terms.
Yeah, and definitely there are lots of stuff like that, like developer, engineer, what does it mean to be, you know, man, like full stack or DevOps, or like there's a lot of like words that like they have meaning, but like they get just kind of thrown around because like sometimes people will say full stack when they really mean they need a DevOps person. Sometimes people will say full stack when they really mean they just need a front-end person who can like read Java. So it just depends. And a lot of that's going to be reading and interviewing and asking questions and seeing what they actually need. And again, like not, you got to remember that a lot of these stuff is not written by tech people. It's written by HR people. And so like they might not understand. Cool. Any other questions? Because that is a good question.
Well, if we're talking about Joe, it's just difficult, and I didn't think it would be easy, but it's just like, if it doesn't say junior web developer, right, then finding ones that are more like entry level, somewhere that's going to be willing to mentor, you know, because that's really what I'm looking for, is to get experience, right? And just a lot of them, I know a lot of job descriptions are wish lists, but my goodness, they're really, a lot of them can be quite intense. I try to overlook the degree portion because I know that a skill like this is definitely viable, and a lot of times if you can do the job, they'll hire you.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, but it's just so hard.
It is. And like,
yeah, because I have a degree and I haven't had anything, but I needed the cert. I need those certs. That degree Without my
The skill, right?
my master's, I think I would have come a lot better. But that y'all know that story. I told it a couple times. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted y'all. I didn't mean to. Oh, check. Okay.
Um,
I just had to say something about that degree part.
yeah,
But
like,
I waited till the last minute to get my degree though. I had switched it 3 times, and I had taken a overload of classes my senior year, and that was not good because that made me just, you know, try to get all the work done. And but when it was time to graduate, I had one more class to finish up where I was doing an incomplete. I had to finish it at home, and I finished it. And then it was like I was at my parents instead of on campus, and I didn't get that follow up with maybe my career people to see what the next step was, to let them guide me instead of my parents, guide me, because they didn't fully know the industry like that, probably. But anyway, I probably would have done better if I would have stuck more with the mentors on the campus about getting an intern and stuff like that, which I did not do. But anyway, sorry. I don't think it was just because of the degree in the start. It was probably other stuff that led me to not do so well 10 years ago. But I'm trying to do it now. So I just didn't want to bash the degree portion, but I just wanted to say, what is my degree in? Information systems. I got it in 2007. Bachelor of Business Administration, Information Systems. Yep. But like I said, I just didn't follow. I didn't go get my master's, which my teacher told me to go get my master's for it. And when I went home, I had one course that was incomplete because I had an overload of classes, like 7 classes that last semester, because I changed my major so much. I tried to fit it all and graduate on time. And after that, I think I should have gone to get my master's, like my main instructor was advisor advised. But I listened to someone else say, find a job with tuition reimbursement, and I never did find that. And story goes on. But now I'm trying to get my certs. It's a little harder to focus, but you got to work and maintain, rent and family, but it's doable. But I also didn't have a good LinkedIn profile, and I didn't keep all that stuff up either. I didn't know that was super important. I did not do an internship. I realized after a year of graduating, I think that was my biggest mistake. I did not do an intern. And I felt like after a year of graduating, that's when I finally realized what I had done wrong. I felt like it was too late. And but anyway, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, if they say a computer science degree and you have like a soft skills degree, like you got a psychology degree or whatever, apply anyways, because you've shown that you have a computer science degree, or you have a degree and you have the computer science skills. So even if you have a soft degree and it's like, you need a computer science degree, apply anyways. And I'm going to tell you something that might stress y'all out. But I do not want this to stress y'all out. I just want to prepare you realistically. So it takes about, like, if you don't have a degree, then just like keep applying and really, really focus on your skills. And like, yeah, exactly. I think Christine's point is really good. Of a lot of times they're making sure that you can just stick it out. Yeah, exactly. Like, so one of my friends at RSI, he has a GED, and that's it. And he's a tech lead. So like, you can do super well in this field without the paperwork. And like, it's not like crazy hard to do all of that. There you go. Bam. Yeah, you can be like, hey, listen, I got I can stick through a program and finish stuff. Because again, you got to remember, a lot of this stuff you're talking to a hiring manager, and they're looking for things like, are you employable? Are you going to do dumb things and cause the company problems? Because they're not even going to be looking at you from your technical skill portion. They're going to be looking at you from your like workability. And then they'll go look at those skills. Yeah, and it just depends on like, I think a lot of people who've gone through college, like, not to talk shit about people. Yeah, it's confidence, it's personality, and like I think it's also like drive. I think a lot of people, especially like if you don't have to like. One of my friend Chandler, he talked about his project he did for his interviews. He didn't have to pay for school. Yes, you can put the clubhouse down as an organization. It's also for, so if you need to bounce, feel free to bounce, because I think we're just talking at this point. So if you're ready to bounce, go ahead and bounce.